First question. What happened to the water when Aaron struck it with his staff? Answer. B. The water turned into blood. Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded. He raised his staff in the presence of Pharaoh and his officials and struck the water of the Nile, and all the water was changed into blood. Through Moses and Aaron, God demonstrated his power over Egypt. Even the waters of the Nile could not stand against his authority. Second question. What was the first plague that God sent upon Egypt? Through Moses and Aaron? Answer. B. The river water turned into blood. All the water was changed into blood. The fish in the Nile died, and the river smelled so bad that the Egyptians could not drink its water. The first plague revealed that even the Nile River, worshipped by the Egyptians, was under the power and authority of the God of Israel. Third question. How many months did Moses' mother hide her son to save him from Pharaoh? Answer. A. 3 months. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son. When she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him for 3 months. Moses' mother faithfully hid her son to save him from death. God protected the baby and prepared a great future for him. Fourth question. What command did Pharaoh give to all his people concerning the newborn Hebrew boys? Answer. B. Throw them into the river. Then Pharaoh gave this order to all his people. Every Hebrew boy that is born you must throw into the Nile, but let every girl live. Pharaoh issued a cruel command to destroy the Hebrew infants, but God was already preparing salvation through Moses to deliver his people. Fifth question. What did the Hebrew midwives do when Pharaoh commanded them to kill the newborn boys? Answer. B. Hid the babies and did not carry out the command. So God was kind to the midwives, and the people increased and became even more numerous. And because the midwives feared God, he gave them families of their own. God blessed the midwives for their fear of him and their faithfulness. The people of Israel continued to grow despite Pharaoh's cruel commands. Sixth question. What name did Pharaoh's daughter give to the baby she found in the basket on the river? Answer. C. Moses. When the child grew older, she took him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses, saying, I drew him out of the water. Pharaoh's daughter, moved with compassion, took in the baby she found in the basket and named him Moses, the one God had chosen to deliver his people. Seventh question. Where did Moses flee to escape Pharaoh's anger? After killing an Egyptian? Answer. B. The land of Midian. When Pharaoh heard of this, he tried to kill Moses, but Moses fled from Pharaoh and went to live in Midian. Moses fled to the land of Midian, where God prepared him for his great calling, to lead Israel out of Egypt. Eighth question. What was the name of Moses' wife? Answer. A. Zipporah. Moses agreed to stay with the man who gave his daughter Zipporah to Moses in marriage. God provided Moses with refuge in the land of Midian, where he found a wife, Zipporah, marking the beginning of a new chapter in his life. Ninth question. What did Moses name his son born to Zipporah? Answer: A. Gershom. Zipporah gave birth to a son, and Moses named him Gershom, saying, I have become a foreigner in a foreign land. Moses named his son Gershom to remind himself that he had been a stranger in a foreign land, and that God had protected him during his exile. 10th question. What blossomed to confirm Aaron's selection as priest? Answer: B. A staff. So Moses spoke to the Israelites, and their leaders gave him 12 staffs, one for the leader of each of their ancestral tribes, and Aaron's staff was among them. Moses placed the staffs before the Lord in the tent of the covenant law. The next day, Moses entered the tent and saw that Aaron's staff, which represented the tribe of Levi, had not only sprouted, but had budded, blossomed, and produced almonds. 11th question. What did God do to Pharaoh's heart? Answer: C. Hardened his heart. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not listen to Moses and Aaron, just as the Lord had said to Moses. God hardened Pharaoh's heart to show his power and to make his name known throughout all the earth. 12th question. How long did the Israelites wander in the wilderness? Answer: C. 40 years. Your children will be shepherds here for 40 years, suffering for your unfaithfulness until the last of your bodies lies in the wilderness. The Israelites wandered in the wilderness for 40 years because of their disobedience and lack of faith, until a new generation was ready to enter the promised land. 13th question. How did God guide and protect the Israelites during their journey out of Egypt? Answer: A. A pillar of fire at night and a pillar of cloud by day. By day the Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud to guide them on their way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so that they could travel by day or night. 14th question. How did God feed the Israelites in the wilderness? Answer: B. Manna from heaven and quail. The name manna was given to this bread because when the Israelites saw it for the first time, they asked one another, Man who? Which means, what is it? Moses answered, It is the bread the Lord has given you to eat. Each morning, except on the Sabbath, manna covered the ground around the Israelite camp throughout their journey. It was gathered early in the morning, because by midday it melted under the heat of the sun. When eating manna, the young tasted it like bread, the elders like honey, and the children like fresh oil. 15th question. Why did Moses, who was raised as Pharaoh's adopted son, have to flee from Egypt? Answer: B. He killed an Egyptian who was beating a Hebrew. He looked this way and that, and when he saw that no one was there, he killed the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. When Pharaoh heard of this, he tried to kill Moses, but Moses fled from Pharaoh. Moses defended a fellow Hebrew and had to flee to the land of Midian, where a new chapter of his life began. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great day. May God bless you, and see you next time.